Hey, I'm Victor Margiotta, and this is the Community Show. I am honored and privileged to have Dennis Malice come on the show, and you can't get any more involved in the community than Dennis, and it's a pleasure to have him here. And we're going to talk about community and family and getting involved, but I really want to thank Joe Pisano and James Brooks, because if it wasn't for them, the show would not be on, and they are huge. And quick story, Joe went through a little ordeal coming up from Florida, but he's here to help, and I really appreciate his effort to be here. And you know, the chance to come on and talk about getting involved in the community is so important. It's not just good for the community, it's good for you, you know, to be involved, to feel like you've done something, and it's just so important to give back, and what they say, play it forward. So just want to thank Dennis for coming on.
Thank you, Victor. Thank you for the invitation and for inviting me and having me here today.
Yeah, and I just want to thank you for everything you do for the community. It's,
You're welcome.
It's awesome.
Giving back is
That's
what
right.
I'd like to call it.
Okay, good. So I always talk about, you know, family first and where you grew up. So do you want to talk about that?
All right. Grew up in Montrose on Trolley Road, right next to the auto body business that I have. But to go back even further, my dad graduated from high school, went into World War II, came out and became a mechanic. So he was always a local mechanic in the area. So it was, I guess you could say, it was in my blood.
Yeah.
From there, he owned a couple of different small gas stations, one being Sinclair, which was at the corner of Tate Avenue and Route 9A, Albany Post Road. And I found some pictures and everything.
Nice.
So nostalgia really kicked in and everything. So he's owned a Shell gas station. And then after that, he decided to go into auto body repair. Built a building right next to the house where I grew up and stuff. So I was always there. We'd play in there, and it's just a real funny story is we had a basketball court in there, believe it or not. So on Fridays, my dad would pull the cars out, and we could go and play. The kids would come over, and even in the wintertime, we would play. So, you know, it was like my playground, and at the same time, learning about cars and everything. So it does go back a ways through my dad's blood, and I still have old tools there that I use, and I think about them all the time.
Yeah, I know, but well, with me, it's mixing dough. You know, when I mix the dough, I always think about my dad, and you know, I mean, he started mixing by hand before he got, you know, the machine to mix it, and you know, it's a good feeling. It really
they're
is.
always in your mind. They're always there, and it's beautiful.
What was your dad like?
He was kind of a quiet guy. He was a great teacher, but he taught by example. So he would show you and say, this is the way I do it. If you want to take it, you take it to your way of doing it.
Yeah.
And then he wouldn't criticize you or anything like that. If you did it wrong, he would go up and say, look, you need to redo it, you need to do this. So now it got your wheels turning that, okay, you know what? This isn't the right way. So you're kind of always checking yourself is what you were doing. Yeah. He was strict, let's face it, that generation was strict. But he was just a guy that, you know, he loved his family. We had to be home at 5 o'clock to eat. It was a family thing, so we were always there. And, you know, great memories, too.
Yeah,
I could put a huge smile on my face, you know, having this conversation.
Yeah. And your family is beautiful. I, you know, went to school with your sister, Diane, and she was wonderful. And
I have 2 older brothers and a younger sister.
Yeah. You know, so. But, so you're married now, and how many kids?
2 children.
Okay.
2 wonderful children, blessed with 2 wonderful children. Dennis, who's 29, and then my daughter, she is 27.
Cool. Any grandkids yet?
Not yet.
No? Okay. Well, I was blessed to go to 2 weddings this past month. My oldest nephew, Stephen, got married, and then my oldest brother's daughter, Dana, got married. And
okay, nice.
Yeah, it was really nice. It was good that we finally can get together and, you know, and do these things. So.
Right, good point.
Yeah. Now, auto body work is tough work.
Yeah, it's heavy, it's physical, not the healthiest, of course, but there's there's equipment out there and stuff we can use, respirators, goggles, and gloves and stuff like that. So my chosen path that I wanted to do for a career. And I would have to say I would do the same thing again. I absolutely love it. I don't feel like I'm at work because I have such a passion for it. And there's such a great reward of achievement when you're done and you fix it and the customer comes and picks it up.
Oh, yeah.
And you know what? They're just so appreciative of, that you've taken care of their issue that they've had.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's difficult as far as being physical and health-wise, but, it's such a great reward when when you finish it.
Well, I brought my cars there and highly recommend you.
Thank you.
Yeah, and was very pleased with the work. So.
Thank you.
And is there a busy time for you?
No, not really. A lot of people say the winter, but cars are a lot safer now. You have all-wheel drive, you have ABS, you have a lot of technologies in the car that's safe. In the summertime, you have more travel, so you have more cars on the road too. People go into different events. Hopefully now, where this is going to be over.
It seems like.
But yeah, no, you never can tell.
Yeah.
Never.
But it just seems like, I don't know, people are distracted driving.
A lot of distractions in cars. Yeah, cell phones, the technology, the screens.
Yeah.
It's like being in your living room or something. You can watch things in there. You can check your email.
Right.
It's not a great direction to go in, and this is why I probably pay higher insurance because there's so many issues with it too.
So I reconnected with Dennis. We've been friendly over the years, but we wound up meeting each other at the food pantry that Casey Margiotta runs in Verplank, and got a chance to reconnect. It's, again, volunteering is a good way to meet and reconnect with people, and to to boost your social morality and to have fun, and which we did.
Yeah.
Now, how did you? Did Casey get a hold of you, or how were you able to connect?
I don't recall. It was 2019 in January. I remember when,
right.
And I believe she was only 2 weeks into it, and I don't recall where I heard it. And I went down to there, and I asked if she needed any help, and she said, "Yeah, well, you could do this, stack that."
Yeah.
I met you there soon after that, so yeah, I don't recall,
how the connection got there.
How it got connected. I think I initiated by going down there.
Right. I mean, and it's a good thing. It's you're helping people, and that's huge. And out of self and into others. I know that's a big Rotary saying, but it's true to form. It's you got to get out of yourself sometimes, and
absolutely, yeah.
and try to help other people. So now you're into the business district of Montrose. Talk a little about that.
All right. Back in late 2012, 2013, I formed and got a bunch of local businesses together to form the Montrose Business Association, nonprofit. And basically we're there to give back to the community. We do events. We look to approach the local town officials to see if we can have some improvements around town and stuff like that. So we've been going pretty strong. We have a little over 30 members. So we were meeting once every couple of months, and now it's gone to about 4 times a year. We do different things. We do ice cream socials over the summer, which we're looking forward to this summer here in July and in August. But our main event and our big attraction is a veterans ceremony. So what we do is we honor one veteran from the Montrose area, and we'll have them come. We have the school come. They sing the Star Spangled Banner. We have the Montrose Fire Department, the Color Guard. We have Cortland Ambulance Corps there, and a lot of the local veterans groups in the area too. We have come, so we draw a pretty good crowd there. 60 to 80, I would say, people come. Local officials do, and we honor them. We have a plaque. We put the plaque on their nameplate on the plaque and everything. And it's just it's a great feeling because here we're still giving back and we're recognizing the past too at the same time. That's our big thing that we do. And there's other different things that minor. We have a little fundraisers. We used to have craft fairs And then we started to just do raffles because they were a little bit easier to do. Just recently, we raffled off a mountain bike. And then prior to that, there was like a canoe. We did a canoe too, so or kayak. I'm sorry. So you know what? We're always trying to involve ourselves back into the community. At the same time, we're trying to lift the businesses and give notice to what is out there, the community, to see what type of services they may not. We also like to do home businesses. We try to do people who are working from home and expose them too at the same time that people may not know.
You have a website?
We do, montrosebiz.com.
Okay.
We have a Facebook page, easy enough to search for. So, and we're always posting different things on there, updating. Coming out of the pandemic, we're always trying to post things, that this person's open, that business is open, and we're always outreaching, to the community through those social medias.
Well, growing up in a family business like yourself, there was always the situation, well, if I don't do it, nobody else will, and that type of mentality, exactly what you seem to be doing. How do you feel about that?
You know what? It just clicks. One day you just want to go and do something, and you want to get involved, and you want to, just like the food pantry. You know what? I heard about it, and it's something that I wanted to do. And not really doing it for myself. Just doing it because I wanted to be involved with the community that's out there that gives so much to me as far as business. And I go back to my dad too. You know what? He was a mechanic. He had businesses, and they went back and helped him out. So a way of giving back into the community.
We're here at the Montrose Library, and you can't talk more about community than being here, because it's right in the middle of Montrose, Buchanan, Verplank, and Jill was talking about they get the water from Cortland, they get the P.O. box is Montrose, and but it's huge, and we live in such a beautiful area, and for me, living right on the river, we could drive down to the city in an hour. You could go up to the mountains, in no time. So it really is, you really have to appreciate where you live sometimes.
Well, yeah, we're accessible to a lot of different things. I think one of the biggest keys here, and I'll talk about the Tri-Village area, Montrose, Buchanan, Verplank, is that we have direct access to the river. And it's a great recreational body of water. It really is. It's unique because it's only, and I don't know how long it is, I'm going to say maybe 5 miles or something, but it's the only spot along the Hudson River that it's not obstructed by the railroad track. So we do have a gem here. It is.
Yep, I love it. Never owned a boat. Lived on the river my whole life, but lucky to always have friends that have boats. And was always able to get out and enjoy it. Are you much of a boater?
Have my boats, had my share.
Yeah.
Right now, camping's my thing. We have a camper upstate. We go up there.
Yeah, that's beautiful too.
That's where I relax, unwind.
Yeah, for sure.
Up there. But yeah, no, boating is good. Again, it's a great body of water. It really is.
So what's on the agenda for the business district? For
the business association. We're going to have the ice cream socials. We are going to honor a veteran. We have to pick one. Matter of fact, this Thursday is going to be our meeting, our first of the year. We only went down to 2 with the pandemic. And we have a couple choices, so we're going to pick one and notify them and get things going.
Good. Where is it usually located?
We have it at Veterans Park, right next to the Cortland Ambulance Corps there.
Oh, yeah.
That's where the plaque is, next there, and that's where the ceremony is. Invites go out through usually Facebook, word of mouth. And
So I had my physical today. I had to go to Croton, which was nice, my regular doctor, and just the regular physical. I was in a sport every season in high school and always had to have a physical. So just the idea of getting a physical every year, was instilled in me, and I think it's so important that people take care of themselves, exercise, eat right. It was funny, the guy took my blood and he's looking at it, he's shaking, he's like, wow, this is really red. So, well, is that a good thing? He says, yeah, that's
It's
great.
supposed to be, Victor. Okay,
Yeah,
yeah,
but
all
I mean,
right.
but it was like a bright red. He said, well,
Yeah.
you must be doing something right. So, you know, I just think it's so important that people eat right and exercise and, you know, take care of themselves, you know, and just share with us what you do to take care of yourself.
Well, you know, I try to eat right.
Yeah.
I mean, I have my fruit when I'm supposed to. You know, I stay away from the greased foods
Yeah.
the best I can, of course.
Yeah.
Pizza's my downfall, of course. Love pizza. You know, I do exercise. I take vitamins, and as older you get, you do become much more aware of it.
Yeah.
Especially when you hear of friends and relatives, you know, going through tragedy and stuff like that. It kind of puts things in perspective. And your health is important. If you don't have health, you have nothing.
Yeah.
You really don't. So.
Now, you talked about our parents were very strict. How were you with your kids? Just not to give people tips or anything, but just some insights on it.
Yeah, I think I'm a reflection. I think I mirror my dad. I really
Yeah.
do. I think, you know, I never tried to be loud or anything, but when something needed to be, a statement needs to be made, I make it. But I really wanted my kids to find their own way. We pointed them in the direction. My wife, Stacy Malice, who grew up in this area too as well, we got them pointed in the right direction. And at some point in life, it's up to the kids.
Yeah.
You know, they have to choose the right choices. And we always told them, say, look, if something happens, call us, let us know. We'll either get you, we'll take care of things. We won't be mad at you, but we're going to sit down, we're going to have a very strict discussion about it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think I mirror my dad, where I just not over strict, but yet I get my point across.
Again, growing up in a family business, you know, I worked with my brothers. It wasn't always the easiest, but, you know, you learn to get along. And I can remember even, you know, being young and getting in fights with my brother, and then having to sit down and eat dinner with them. And meanwhile, you know, you want to, you know, get into it with them. But, you know, discipline is a big thing, you know, and was lucky as yourself to have parents that were, you know, strict, disciplined, and organized, you know. I mean, to be able to raise 10 kids and, you know, have a home and, and a business and do things the right way. You know, it's funny because talking about volunteering, you know, I had a little time off from the restaurant, so I wound up, you know, taking the time to volunteer at the church. I mean, it's a great thing, but the problem is then they start asking you to do a lot more than than what you were ready for. But, you know, it is a great experience for me, you know, to, you know, the couple of things I really do enjoy doing is going up there and cleaning. You know, I was raised in a restaurant, and cleaning is a big part of what you do there, you know. So, so that I enjoyed. You know, I did some cooking for them, which was nice. And but there's always a point where you have to say no, you know. And where do you find yourself having, you know, to draw a line at some point?
Draw a line at, now, you know, as far as church goes, you know, I think it's not for everybody, of course, but there is some, speaking of cleaning, spiritual cleaning, of course.
Yeah.
I think everybody needs, you know, something, you know, and whether it's religion or sports or whatever it is, that just sets them a little bit at ease.
So the camping, what do you enjoy the most about it? Do you do any fishing up there? Or?
Yeah, I fish. You know, and a lot of different things. We'll walk short. We have a boat up there, small boats. We go out in the water. I'll just go out there and sit and float.
Yeah.
You know, it's just really just kind of erases things. You forget things for a while, especially with today's issues going on. Yeah.
And you know, that is a big issue. You know, for me, I try to stay away from the news. You know. What they're talking about on the news really doesn't affect me, you know, one way or the other. I mean, in the long run, probably will, but in my day-to-day life, what I have to do, you know, go to work, you know, get things done. You know, for me, gardening right now is is a wonderful thing. You know, I put in my tomato plants and my butternut squash,
Right.
and I just, you know, it's something to distract me from, you know, the everyday stuff.
Right.
So, and it's just important for people to try and do these things. You know, to not get so involved in things that they have no control over. You know.
Yeah, it kind of resets you, is what it does. It takes you away from everything. You know, when you get away from social media and you get away from watching the news every day, it shrinks your world. And I've enjoyed that, actually. You know, not having to have alerts coming on and notifications. You know, and it does help. It does help you feel a little bit better, you know.
You know. So I've been blessed. I got into golf a few years ago and actually played 36 holes yesterday. But it was fun because I played in a league, and then after the league, my friend showed up and we went out. But then, you know, they always try to match up because, you know, they don't like to send twosomes out, so they'll match up. And we wound up playing with these two college kids, and what a blast! You know, you meet new people, young guys going to college, and it was funny because, you know, it was almost like we knew them because the personalities, you know, they were
Right.
you know, just out there trying to have fun, have a good time, and you know, to me, I think there's only 10 personalities out there, and then, you know, people start to, you know, pretty much overlap. But how do you feel about how you get along with people and you know, your association?
I enjoy people.
Yeah.
You know, I like to find similarities or different experiences that you've had that they've had. And, you know, I'm a people person.
Yeah.
You know, I'm in the service industry, so I enjoy. You know, like my dad, I think sometimes I talk too much. You know, at work. You know, with customers and stuff, and you know, yeah. You know, I enjoy people.
Yeah.
I'm very intrigued the way that they feel and think sometimes, and it's just amazing that we're all different. We're all different in this world, and it's interesting, very interesting.
So your son's not into the auto body.
No.
No. So what do you think? How's that business going to evolve?
Well, you know, at some point, you know, it's going to be my retirement. You know, I'll end up selling the business and everything. So
Yeah. Now, there's a lot of restrictions on something like that, right? As
restrictions.
far as, like, the chemicals and everything else that you use?
Yeah, there's rules, laws, and stuff like that. It gets harder every time we turn around. You know, we get a notice for this, a notice for that. Like any business, you know.
No,
I know. And I like to think it's for the better, but you know, and unfortunately, it all comes at a cost, though, too. At the same time, they're always trying. You know, you got to write a check for this, check for that, and you're like. Well, I'm not doing anything different. You know? I'm just doing the same stuff. So.
Well, that's like at the restaurant. The you know, you had a few restaurant fires, so now they make you get a company to clean the hoods. You know. Meanwhile, that was my job, but we didn't have to pay somebody to do it. You know what I mean? But now, because, you know, insurance wants to see that the job is done, you know, because of these fires that have happened, so you're constantly. You know, and then the Board of Health wants you to do things that, you know, because of a lot of restaurants that didn't stay by the rules, you know, and caused these problems, that now you have to pay and show that, you know, these things are getting done.
Well, we deal with a lot of hazardous materials, too, and we have, there's VOC laws, the way we use them. We have spray booth, we have filters, we have to document a lot of different things. You know, we have to get rid of our waste material by a licensed hauler. So, yeah, there's a lot of restrictions and a lot of certifications involved, too. But it's, you know, it's part of the business.
It's part of the job. That's right. And how about, you know, for us, it's this time that we're living in that it's a little tough to get help. So what have you been doing to try and...
At this point, not really looking. I am short. I haven't really had enough work to bring anybody else on, so the industry has dipped down a bit. Our problem in the automotive industry in general, mechanical or collision, is really the availability of parts, and it goes back to whether the parts are being shipped in or wherever they're being made, if there's enough people in the factories to make them. So that's our issue that we're seeing right now. is availability to get the parts and the materials to work on the cars.
Okay, awesome. Do you have any advice for kids that would like to get into that type of business?
Tech school.
Yeah.
Definitely go to tech school. There's schools that are after that. There are some tech schools, matter of fact, that are handing out scholarships now. I know the Henry Hudson High School does that through the chamber. Just recently, they had their scholarship breakfast. You know what? You have to get certified. Whatever you do, get a piece of paper that says you're certified, and then move on to the next certification. And it'll hold a lot of weight when you come in for an interview.
Mm. Yeah, I mean, even all the trades now, they're really looking, because there was such a push to go to college that a lot of kids went to college. But now there's a bigger push because you're going to need electricians, you're going to need plumbers. You know, these are all things that...
Well, you see a lot of signs on the front of these businesses, you know, whether it's heating, plumbing, and that they want help, and it's just not out there. There's not enough. And you're right, you know, everybody's getting pushed to college. They're getting regular bachelor degrees, whether it's in whatever it is, but the trades and the hands-on businesses still need it. You're always going to need something serviced. Whether it's your car, whether it's your refrigerator, whether it's your house, you're going to need stuff repaired, your roof, you know. People still need to be there to do that. You know? It's not just a tech world out there. So.
Right. So I asked Jill after the interview, I said, who do you recommend me get on the show? So she said, Dennis Malice. So,
I'll get her for that. That's right.
And I really appreciate you coming on. Really good job.
You're welcome anytime. I appreciate the interview.
Yeah. And our friend Casey has a farmer's market on Sundays.
That's right,
at the riverfront in Verplanck, right down on Riverview Avenue. And it's a great idea to go down and check out the farmer's market on Sundays. I believe it's from 9 to 1. So, and
there's a lot of different vendors, different stuff that could be purchased there too.
And
it's growing. There's she reached out to me to go ask the group to get a couple different vendors. So I gave her some leads and some referrals and stuff. So yeah, it's growing down there. It's really good. She's doing a great job.
Excellent. So thank you so much for coming on, Dan.
You're welcome. Thank you. Appreciate it.
I'm Victor Margiotta. This is the Community Show, and I just wanted to say hi to Kathy and Adam. That's Jill's sister. I don't think I mentioned them on the last show, so just wanted to say hi to you guys. And you know, they always come to the restaurant, so I wanted to thank them for that. So I'm Victor Margiotta. This is the Community Show. Thank you for watching, and please get involved.